Hello and welcome back to Ask Alan about low-carb cocktails. This week we're going to do 4 cocktails that are designed for St. Patrick's Day. Stay with me as we investigate these 4 drinks and see how great they are. Welcome to Ask Alan about low-carb cocktails. This week is just before St. Patrick's Day, so I thought I'd just do 4 drinks that are designed for St. Patrick's Day. We're going to start off with the first one called an Irish Maid. This one we take mint leaves and about 8, but these are not the biggest ones, so we'll just put the whole sprig in there. And with that, we will add, it's supposed to be 2 thinly sliced cucumbers slices, but this was from a very small cucumber, which my wife likes the smaller cucumbers for her salads. So we cut about 6, because that'll give you about the same as a full-size cucumber. Those, I think, are called English cucumbers. But we will take that and then add 3/4 ounce of diet or simple syrup made with sugar substitute. So 3/4 ounce. And then we will muddle that. And as you muddle, you want to rock back and forth. You don't want to smash to hit it hard. You're wanting to just kind of release the oils out of the mint leaves. And of course, as you do this, you're going to release the juices from the cucumber as well. So after we muddle that back and forth, then we will add some bourbon. And we're not using any great tasting bourbon necessarily, or great brand of bourbon. We're just using some inexpensive bourbon. And this is some that I got from Sam's Club. It's Maker's Mark. It's a very good price for it. They used to get this from 1792 Distillery. Last time I was in, the bottles that they had were not from 1792 anymore. It's from, I think, a distillery that they own. So they may be moving on to doing all their own stuff now. So I didn't get any of the newer stuff, but this still is one made from 1792. And I did a review on this in the past. So 2 ounces of that. And 1 ounce of lime juice. Should be freshly squeezed. I squeeze this stuff ahead of time so that we don't have to do that in the videos. So 1 ounce of that. And then we shake that until chilled. Now we will strain this into a cocktail glass with a large ice cube. And then I only had the smaller cucumbers, so I did multiples on the skewer. But you are supposed to skewer mint leaves into the larger cucumber slice, but when you got the smaller ones, then you do something more like this. So there we have the Irish Maid. That's pretty good. I would maybe cut back the lime juice to 3/4. It's a little lime heavy, but it does taste very good. So let's break for a moment so I can clean up this mess and come back with another one. So now let's do a cocktail called Good Cork. This was originally served at Phil Ward's now closed May Hall. I don't know where that is or anything about it, but I assume that was a bar or a restaurant. So because that was what was when I found this, that's what the on the website on the internet what it said. Thought that I'd better make sure I give credit to Phil for this drink. So this is made in a mixing glass, and we add Irish whiskey. It's supposed to be a pot stilled Irish whiskey, and I don't have any that say they're pot stilled, but I did have some Jameson Black Barrel. So we will use that. And that is only 1 ounce of the Irish whiskey. Then we use 1 ounce of mezcal. Then we add a 1/2 ounce of Benedictine. And Dawn Benedictine is the only brand I know about. I don't know if there's others, but it's not too expensive and you don't use it very much, so it'll last you a long time. And it is kind of strong. They also make something called B&B, I believe, which is half Benedictine and half brandy, I believe. That might work, but I do have Benedictine. Then 2 dashes of Pashaw's bitters. This is something I bought quite a few years ago. I don't use it very often, so it does last a long time. So again, 2 dashes. And for the Benedictine, it's about 2.5 grams of carbs for the amount we used. Now we stir this. Stir just to chill. Then we will strain over fresh ice. And we will garnish with a slice of apple. And if you have fresh apples, that's great. You could, since it's just a garnish, you could use a dehydrated apple. I don't think I have any of those. Make a little cut in that for the garnish. And this is Good Cork. Very Irish whiskey forward. And that mezcal is noticeable, but the whiskey taste, for me, is what I get the most of in this. So it's pretty good. It's not a sweet drink. It's one that most of you will like, I think. But this is another one that I think you should try. And it is another Irish style of drink that you can have on St. Patrick's Day. Let's clean this up, and I'll be right back to do the next cocktail. So now it wouldn't be complete without St. Patrick's Day having an Irish Mule. This is made in the Mule cup, and we will start with ice in the cup, 2 ounces of Irish whiskey. Add 1 ounce of lime juice. Then 5 to 6 ounces which would be about half of a can of, in our case, we're using diet ginger beer. And just so I have the right amount, I will measure that out. But it's basically half a can. You can fill it to the top of the glass, depending on how much ice you have in there. But we'll try to get it to what it calls for. And there, just about the right amount with 6 ounces. Then we will garnish this with a lime wheel and a mint sprig. And that should have been stirred. And there we have an Irish Mule. And I always like a Mule, and that tastes pretty good. You can use whatever ginger beer you like. In this case, we use Gosling's, but there are others that are more ginger forward, and I prefer those when I'm making a Mule, but I've got quite a bit of Gosling's, and that's what we use this time. And that Irish Mule is perfect on St. Patrick's Day. So we'll break for a moment and get ready for the final cocktail. And now finally, we have something called a tropical leprechaun. And this is made with rum, but it's coconut rum. There are a number of coconut rums out there. Malibu is one that everybody tends to know about, but that is a sugar bomb. That's got a whole lot of sugar in it. I never use it. I instead make my own coconut rum. But there's also some very good alternatives which don't have sugar added. Coconut Cartel is one, and maybe I should have used that. I think that would have made it very good. But the coconut rum that I make, I use artificial sugar in it and make it as close as possible to Malibu for things that are supposed to have a sweeter taste. So that's what we'll try with this tropical leprechaun. So in a rocks glass, you add 2 ounces of coconut rum. And you can look back at some of my earlier episodes. I'm sure that I made this at one time, or if I haven't, I'll have to do it in the future to show people how to make this. It's really simple. In fact, I've got the recipe right on this. So if it's 1.75 liters of rum, add 2.5 cups of sugar substitute and 2.5 teaspoons of coconut extract. That's about almost a tablespoon, and I kind of left with a little extra coconut in mine. So that's how you make this, and it's really good and has no actual calories, or has no actual carbs. So that is something that I think that if you have low carb, that's great, or you can just get any other coconut rum. So we add those, and then we top this with light pineapple juice. And light pineapple juice has 1.66 grams of carbs per ounce. And the recipe didn't really say, but I'm estimating maybe 2 to 3 ounces. So I'll probably put 3 ounces in just to give it a little more of a pineapple taste. And 3 ounces, that will be almost 5 carbs with the light pineapple juice. 2 would be 3.32, as I believe is the amount. But if you're not worried about the carbs, you can do whatever you want. But after you've added this, of course, stir it up a little bit. And garnish with an orange slice. Now, because it's just for garnish, no need to have a lot of fresh fruit around to waste for garnishes. I just use dehydrated. Break a little piece off of there so that it slides over the glass. And there we have tropical leprechaun. That's pretty good. The 3 ounces of the light pineapple juice is about right. If you want to use regular non-light pineapple juice, you'll get a lot more carbs, but might taste a little sweeter, but it tastes pretty good like this. So that is the final cocktail. And so there you have 4 excellent drinks that you can try on St. Patrick's Day. Come back next week and see what we have in store for you here on Ask Alan About Low Carb Cocktails. Before you go away, please check out the description. All of the recipes are there. Information is there for the website, for the Facebook page, and for the link back to the YouTube page. And also, make sure you like and subscribe and share this with your friends so other people can find out about how to make great cocktails without all the carbs. That's how we can get the word out, and that's how we can expand this community to more people so that they can also enjoy cocktails without having lots of sugars. So have a great week. Like, subscribe, do all those things, and most of all, comment, because comments really do help me understand what you like or dislike and want me to do different. Enjoy these and have a great week. Next week is St. Patrick's Day, so be safe and enjoy the day with all of your family and friends.